And we are live. Brian, Massey. It's 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, though I'm from Pittsburgh, PA. And I'm just going to check my Facebook to see if it's streaming on Facebook, which it is, I think. There it is. Okay. All right.
Everything good?
Yep.
Excellent.
Ernest, here as promised, Larry, happy Sunday. Happy Sunday, Ernest.
Hey,
thank you for dropping
by. How you doing, Ernest?
Yeah. And Brian was saying that he can now see the comments on the side. I guess before, I always thought that guests could, but I guess it's in the settings. It's something new. It says new and have the guests see the comments. So, okay.
Very nice.
So just afternoon, Larry. Robbie Detroit's vinyl. He looks a lot like Elvis Presley.
He does.
He's a good-looking guy.
I'm telling you, a little pompadour action going there, maybe? No?
Now, Brian, who do you like more, Elvis Presley or Elvis Costello?
Elvis Costello by a landslide.
Billy? Yeah.
Right, yeah. I'm not an Elvis fan. It's a big joke in my family. I think it's because it was overkill growing up. My adopted mother played it to death. So.
Yeah. But I don't know. Like, I don't have any Elvis Presley, but I think he was probably the greatest live performer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If I were ranking, maybe top 10 entertainers of all time, he probably would be there. Sure.
Yeah, like that, the American Trilogy. You ever seen that?
No.
Oh, it's just incredible. Yeah. Or what is it called? If I Had a Dream or something like that. So we've got 13 viewers so far.
So far.
Yeah.
Nice.
So what's new in your life? We want all the really personal stuff.
All the personal stuff first, huh? Well, I'm expecting my second grandson in about 6 weeks. Congrats. So that's good news. My son is in Hawaii right now on a TDY for his for the Air Force. So wow, I was like, wow, what a tough assignment. Oof, how can you stand it? Roughing it in Hawaii. But,
yeah.
So,
no, I don't want to go to Hawaii.
Yes, of all places, why there?
I want to go to Iraq.
Yeah, he did those stints when he was overseas. He did a lot of Middle Eastern TDYs, so he's kind of earned it, I guess.
Yeah,
I'll let him slide.
So I'm just waiting for some questions from whoever wants to ask, mainly music-related questions, of course.
Yeah.
We won't get into politics right now, Brian.
No, let's steer clear of that for a while. That'd be great.
Lots of live streams lately, Larry. Yeah, I'm trying to do them once a week and find a proper time. There's 18 viewers now. And, I am expecting my first grandson in October. Congrats.
Okay, congrats, Robbie. Excellent. It's nice. It's nice being grandparents.
Yeah.
Different level of spoiling.
Yeah. I am still so into the band Can.
So do you have all their stuff now?
I don't. I've got all of their early stuff. So about 3/4 of I've got all of their early stuff. I just have to get the later, I think 5 albums. But yeah, you've never listened to them?
Oh, I have.
Oh, you have?
Tago Mago is maybe my favorite of their albums, and then the one with the soup can, is it Eggy? I don't even know how to pronounce it, but
Edgy Bamyasi.
Yeah, it's just
that's
great.
Really good too. Yeah,
if anybody likes krautrock or things like that, they would really enjoy them. They're very very good.
I think Future Days is the easiest to. That's not too out there to get into.
Yeah. Maybe the first one everybody should listen to if they're going to try them, right?
Yeah. But I even love the first singer, that Malcolm Mooney with the Monster Movie. I mean, he's an acquired taste for vocals, but this might be my favorite, Monster Movie.
Very cool.
It's
All
Bob. Right. Evening, Bob. Are you close to Windsor, Larry? I'm about 2 hours from Toronto. I've been watching Nameless. What's your name then if it's Nameless? I've been watching your vids for 8 or 9 years now since I was 10. What's the best and worst Beatles song? My favorite Beatles song is A Day in the Life, and the worst, I don't really, I like them all. The worst, A Taste of Honey, the cover version. What about you?
I would say Here Comes the Sun is my favorite.
I was going to say, I thought you were going to say the worst.
And then probably that Revolution number 9, or
oh yeah,
probably is the worst. But
yeah, I actually just did the video. It's already posted for members. It'll be posted publicly tomorrow. You know what cover is on that Rolling Stones worst albums cover list? 50 albums. The Beatles Revolver.
That's weird. That's iconic. That's an iconic cover.
Yeah. And even if it's not the greatest cover, it's certainly not bad.
No.
I think they kind of do that, right, to get people talking and go to the site.
Oh yeah. They want, that's clickbait. They want you to click on that and be upset and talk about it. And
yeah. I have 1, 2, 3 grandkids.
I just have one at the moment, one on the way.
Yeah, but that might have been one of my joke videos when I did top 10 worst Beatles songs, and it was a joke video.
It was one. Oh, okay.
I like doing that once in a while. I've yet to hear Can, maybe soon. Yeah, I would check out Future Days first, maybe.
Yes.
I even like the later ones after that Suzuki left, like Landed. Like, yeah. They might actually be replacing Sparks as my second favorite band.
Wow.
Because I have been playing them 80% of the time in the last month.
Nice.
Beatly Tones Beatles channel. Hi. If you want to come on, I'll send you the link. I didn't send you a link because I figure you'd be in bed by now. It's 11:08 in the UK. Let me know if you want to come on. What is your favorite Can song? My favorite is You Do Right, which is over 20 minutes long.
Oh, I have to think about that one. Hold on a second. I'll think about that and get back to you on that one.
Yeah.
Holy, wow.
Worst.
I don't know. It's like that. It's like asking me what my favorite Frank Zappa song is. It's like, yeah, I like a lot of them, but some of them are like 15, 16 minutes long.
Yeah,
it's funny.
Rolling Stones suck.
Yeah, they do. Let's see. Maybe Moonshake. Moonshake's a good.
Yeah, that's a great one. Yeah,
I would think. Yeah, I think Moonshake's probably it.
Yeah.
It's hard because that's a band. I just don't think of them in terms of singles. I think that if you sit down to listen to them, you should listen to the whole album.
So, what about the singles? If you don't think of them as singles?
No, I just don't. I mean, really. I mean, why would they release that? It's like,
yeah.
I feel like the sequence that they put them in means something. That's what so when you do singles, it doesn't feel like it means as much.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like Revolution 9. It's not my favorite Beatles song, but I think it's interesting. Yeah, Rolling Stone sucks. What's up?
Yeah. What is up with Rolling Stones
My
magazine
name is
lately?
What's that?
What is up with Rolling Stones magazine lately?
I used to actually buy that back in the 70s, 80s.
I did too.
I haven't bought it in years.
Just so I could look at the back and find out what was charting. They always had the charts right in the back.
Yeah. Douglas Gilbert, Larry, when you listen to Can's Saw Delight, the spookiest song is Sodom, instrumental. Yeah, I need to get that one. That's one of the 5 albums I need to get.
Saw Delight. Now I'm writing again, Larry. What are you doing?
Yeah.
Making
Do you
me
have
write
any
again.
Triumph CDs? No, I'm not a fan of Triumph, but I did enjoy their documentary last year. That was on, I don't know if it was on Netflix, but it was really good. Well, in the top 50. It was in the 30s. Aha, yes, sure, okay.
Yeah,
If I
cool.
copy, paste. There you go. That's for Tony. Beatley Tones Beatles channel. So easy to say. Beatley Beatles Tony's channel.
Very
All
excellent.
pairs.
The Residents, excellent. Zappa, Beefheart.
Yeah.
Big avant-garde, yeah. Nice.
Clickbait equals dead weight. I don't know what that means, but
That usually means it's just trash.
I think Revolver, maybe, yeah. I'd like to be reincarnated as myself because I like myself. I don't want to be somebody else.
As a music artist,
Frank
I don't know.
Zappa, because he was a
all the-
musical genius.
All the great ones died too early. I don't know if I want to be reincarnated with someone going to get rid of themselves in their 20s.
Yeah. Yeah. I love Blue Oyster Cult. Have all of their albums. And it's midnight in Germany. So do not your chat later. I have to go to work. Okay. Have a good night, music and cat lover.
There you go. Midnight in Germany.
It's Michael Garba. Hello, Michael. I was playing a CD for me and Hunter before with Once Bitten, Twice Shy. I've got his debut album. I need more of Ian Hunter.
Yeah.
What is your newest favorite band? I've just been talking about them. They're not a new band, but they're new to me. Can.
Band where you're running their discography. That's for sure.
What's your favorite new band? Besides
band...
Nickelback.
Nickelback. I've been running the band called The National. Has any? I mean, I don't know if you've heard of them. Yeah, I mean, I've been running their discography. I really like them. So checking out their stuff. How's it going?
Hi guys.
Nice.
Hi Tony. Have you met Brian before?
No, I don't think I have. Hi Brian.
Did you want me to kick Brian off of the show so we can have a good time?
Certainly not.
Now,
Brian, Tony is a Beatles fan. Just in case you don't know.
I couldn't tell at all. I mean, I love all that stuff, though. That's excellent.
Yeah, Political Science. That might be Sail Away. Yeah, I love early Randy Newman.
Yeah.
I like that. I'm going to keep this comment up for like 5 minutes.
Yeah. Soak it in.
So, what is new, Tony?
What's new? Oh.
Yeah. Besides your huge mind game tube.
Yeah. Well, that was quite new. What else is new? My David Bowie Rock and Roll Star box set.
Yeah.
Where is it? It's just here, actually.
Oh.
Which is very nice. It's sort of a Ziggy. It's a Ziggy Stardust centric box set. So it's all the sort of songs from around the Ziggy period. Yeah, very pleased to get that. That's my latest purchase, anyway.
Have you played much of it yet, or?
I've played a couple of the discs, and it's really good. Yeah. It's really good. It's got, what's strange about it is that the whole box set is like it's bonus material, so you don't get the actual Ziggy Stardust album, although it is on the Blu-ray that's in there.
Yeah.
But it's got 5 CDs, 1 Blu-ray, and a book. And on the 5 CDs, it's all like demos, outtakes, live performances, all stuff concerning the Ziggy Stardust album. And what I've heard of it so far, it's great.
Yeah,
It's great.
cool.
I've just listened to his last 2 albums. I listened to were Black Star and The Next Day, and I love Black Star. I think that is so.
That's my
underrated.
favorite album of his.
Yeah,
I just can't. It's no love. I don't know why.
Yeah, they're both great, I think.
Yeah,
and I think some people like Glenn, like he's a big Bowie fan too, but he doesn't like listening to that album because of what happened. But I think. Yeah. I mean, David Bowie made it. He knew he was dying, right? He wanted his fans to listen to him, so I listened to it.
Yeah, it was like literally a couple of days after it came out, wasn't it? But it's a great album.
I was born in 91, so there are so many concerts I wish I could have seen from before my time. What's your guys' all-time favorite concert? I love seeing The Residents and Genesis from 07. My favorites are Paul McCartney in 2010 and the last two times I saw Sparks in the last 2 years. Tony.
Well, I was lucky enough to go to Live Aid
wow.
at Wembley. So that is my all-time best gig ever. But, I've seen loads of really great gigs in my time, but that can't be beaten, I don't think.
So was Queen the best band?
Oh yeah, they were, they were outstanding, especially as they were sort of, they were kind of fading a little bit, just before that point, and that just really sort of reignited them again. I liked Queen in the early days, but I'd kind of lapsed with them and not really bought anything after News of the World. But that gig just absolutely, they killed it, and they became massive again. Thank you.
I think mine would be. I saw REM for the Green Tour in '88. I think in Roanoke, Virginia. I remember right.
Cool. Yeah, I don't find it depressing, really.
I didn't find it depressing. I just wanted to enjoy it, and I listened to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard them. Yeah, the something Pawn, if I remember right, Pawn Heart.
Yeah.
Yeah, it did on Hunky Dory.
Yeah, same with Warren Zevon, The Wind. Yeah, imagine you're making your last album and it's gonna be your final one. It is kind of depressing to think of. Hey, Larry. Hey, Rob. Oh yeah. So, did you see Led Zeppelin?
No, because Led Zeppelin were on the US Live.
Yeah. Okay.
In Philadelphia. But yeah, they had a.
You didn't fly the Concorde like Phil Collins.
No, like Phil Collins. No, but they had a terrible night, didn't they? Zeppelin.
Yeah.
They weren't on form, were they? And they were playing with Phil Collins on drums.
Yeah.
And he had no rehearsal.
Yeah.
And it was easy for them to blame him.
Yeah, of course.
But it probably
he's a great drummer.
Right? He is a great drummer. It probably wasn't his fault,
And I don't think Jimmy Page was all there.
No.
Yeah. That's my favorite Queen album, Innuendo. How did you go to the bathroom? There you go, Tony.
Oh, it was mad. It was a complete expedition. It was an expedition to get to the loo, and they were charging. This is back in 1985. Charging £5 for a bottle of water.
Wow,
which was a lot. All the money was going to the charity.
Yeah,
but so it was kind of okay. But it was a hot day. It was a real hot day up until the point when Elton John came on probably about 8 o'clock in the evening, and the heavens just opened, and it poured with rain, and everyone was so happy to see the rain because it had been absolutely sweltering because all the crowd was like on the pitch, on the Wembley pitch and the stage at the front, and it was mad. It was mad.
If you could attend any live show from history, which would you pick? Yeah, that though. Yeah, it would have to be Beatles related.
Yeah,
or the Cavern.
maybe Candlestick Park, the last show.
Good question.
Black Stars to hear the first time, about 4 days after he passed. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, I did. I'm not a big Quo fan, but that they opened the show,
Yeah.
and they opened with "Rocking All Over the World," and there could not be any better song to open, a show that was going out worldwide, by satellite live. "Rocking All Over the World" was just the perfect opening song.
Yeah. And then, of course, Paul McCartney, his mic wasn't working when he started "Let It Be."
Yeah, and it was the crowd was singing it for him.
Yeah.
When his mic wasn't working, and when his mic, about halfway through the song, his mic came back, and he didn't know that his mic wasn't working. He just, he's a pro, and he just kept on at his piano singing the song. But when his mic did come back, there was this massive crowd. Massive cheer from the crowd when his mic came back, and you see him like look out the audience because he doesn't know why they're suddenly cheering. He's thinking, "What's happened?"
Yeah, that's funny. So, not to be negative, but who was the worst performer? That
Adam Ant, I think.
Adam.
Really?
Wow. It's really funny actually because all the art, or not all the artists, but most of the artists got about a 20-minute slot. There was a couple that only got to do one song. Elvis Costello was one of them, and he did "All You Need Is Love" was the song that he chose to do. So he didn't, he wasn't promoting himself. This was a charity thing, and all the acts that got the 20-minute slot, like David Bowie, they kind of played their greatest hits sort of thing. They played things that everyone knew. Adam Ant was the only person who played an unreleased song, which was going to be his next single. And
that's
not good to do.
No, we were.
That's not good.
We stood up for every act, and when they went off, when they did the changeover of the bands, that's when we sat down, on the pitch. But when Adam Ant came out, we just all sat down.
Here's a good question for you, Tony.
So, yeah, I am British, English, and British. Yeah.
Is Rush bigger than Bryan Adams in Canada overall? I don't know.
I would imagine Brian had bigger commercial success.
Yeah.
But I think Rush is still more well known as a Canadian.
Or well loved, yeah.
Right, yeah.
Nice work.
Nice. We're playing on words there.
The Hooters.
Good name.
So how is in case anybody hasn't watched Tony's video, he recently received a very lovely gift from his wife. You weren't expecting that, were you?
No, not at all. Not
so
at
it just
all.
came to your door like.
Well, it did, but I was out here making another video at the time, so I didn't hear it arrive. I went back into the kitchen, and she'd already brought it in and brought it through, and it was just like sitting on the kitchen floor.
Yeah.
and I
So
just saw this big
did you know
box.
what it was right away? Or?
Yeah, because it was a big box, and it had sort of 18 kilograms written on the side, and I'd seen Andrew Dixon opening his, and he said that it came in a box that was 18 kilograms in weight. So it was a complete surprise, and I was waiting for the 2 LP version to come because that's what I'd ordered, and I was going to be doing a video for that. And then I had to put that on hold.
Yeah. But I like Mind Games so much more with that remix.
Yeah.
I kind of didn't really listen to it much because of the production in the past.
Yeah. A lot of people on my channel have said the same thing, and I said that in my video. I don't think it kind of changes my ranking. It might do in time when I've lived with it a little bit, but I've got much higher regard for it now. Because it just sounds fantastic, and people always say, Plastic Ono Band and Imagine, are head and shoulders above everything else, and they probably are. But there are quite a few tracks on Mind Games now, I think, that would have fitted really well on the Imagine album. Like, for example, I don't really like, I Don't Want to Be a Soldier as a song.
That's the one John Lennon song I've never liked.
Yeah, I'd be quite happy if one of the songs from Mind Games had replaced that. It's So Hard is an okay track, but I think there are tracks on Mind Games that are better. So I think it's a much better album than people either thought it was or how they remember it or whatever. Especially hearing this new remix, it's fab.
Yeah. Yeah. Phil Collins was all over the 80s. He was like
he was almost alternating. There'd be a Genesis album out one year, then Phil Collins solo album, Genesis. He just kept alternating. It felt like about a 6-year span.
Yeah,
where it was Phil Collins everywhere.
But I mean, props to him. I wasn't really a big fan of his solo career, but he's an amazing talent. Plus, one of the greatest drummers ever.
Yeah, I still really like his first solo album, the one that sort of centers around him splitting up with his wife. That one, I just think it's just a really strong album. It's kind of a bit of a guilty pleasure, I suppose.
Is that Hello, I Must Be Going, or
no? The one before that,
Face Value.
Face Value, yeah, Face Value.
Okay.
Tony, what did you think of Brian Ferry playing with David Gilmour and the rest of the band? I don't remember that.
That would be interesting. Brian Ferry's voice mixed with wow, that would be interesting.
Are we talking about Live Aid? Are we is
that what he's talking about?
I mean, I remember rock. Was it Brian Ferry or was it Roxy Music? I can't remember now. It might have just been Brian Ferry solo. I can't remember. I can't remember whether if David Gilmour was there. Sorry, I don't remember that.
Yeah, Bryan Adams was pretty big in Europe. Yep.
Is Alanis Morissette still big in Canada?
She just released like an ambient album like 2 years ago, so she's gotten really weird.
But she's on tour now. I think she's still probably doing okay. Like,
yeah.
I'm not a fan really, but
I loved her first album. Well, I'm not even sure if it's her first album, but the Jagged Little Pill was the one that brought it to attention here in the UK. And I thought that was a fantastic album. And I kept buying her albums and after that, and she never really got back to that sort of level. You keep buying the albums thinking, come on, let's have a return to form. And it never really happened for her.
Her subsequent albums were almost like what I think these were thoughts she was having when she was on the couch for her therapist or something. It was really weird.
Yeah. So. Mid-year, I've never been into Ultravox or Mid-year. What about you, Tony? Or
not Mid-year solo. Ultravox started off as being a completely different band to the one that played with when Mid-year joined, and I didn't have. I've got the Vienna album, and I've got a greatest hits of Ultravox. They're okay, but I'm not sure if they were overrated because I'm not sure whether they had a great standing anyway. I mean, they appeared at Live Aid because Monsieur co-wrote the Band Aid song with Bob Geldof. That was their reason for being there, but they weren't like a massive band. I think Vienna got to number 2, and the rest of their singles did okay, but not probably top 10.
Yeah, Brian Wilson. I am really into the Beach Boys a lot more. Like, I've always really liked them, but the album Friends, I love that album. And Pet Sounds.
Obviously. Yeah.
That's cool.
Have you got that live album of his where he plays Pet Sounds live?
No.
Yeah, I've got that one. It's really good. He played with some great musicians on that. What does Tony think of Revolution 9?
He finds it hard to dance to.
Yeah, it's a bugger to dance to. My history with Revolution 9 was, when I first got the White Album, but once I started to drive, I recorded the White Album on a cassette to play in my car on a C90, but you couldn't get the whole thing on if you recorded everything. So I skipped Revolution 9, so the rest of it would fit on a C90. So there was loads of times I played the White Album where I never heard Revolution 9, but I've kind of come back to it. It's odd. It's it's part of the madness of the White Album, which is generally off its head anyway. I think, but I quite like I wouldn't want to listen to it every day, but occasionally I would listen to it. Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah. Any new or current new bands? No way. We're old, right, Tony?
Yeah.
I like the Lemon Twigs. I do
like that.
Yeah,
their new album is exceptional, and then so I've been running their older stuff. I like them. I think they've got a great sound. They have that last album was kind of, you could hear all the Beatles and Beach Boys influence.
And they're also inspired by Sparks, Brian. They're fans of Sparks.
See, cool. There you go.
Yeah, the newest band I'm into is an old band called Can, which I'm always talking about. What are your top 3 McCartney albums from 2001 2024? Ooh. Chaos and Creation in the Backyard. Kisses on the Bottom. I'm just joking. I don't know. I like McCartney 3 and Egypt Station, I guess.
Tony answer that.
I'll say Chaos and Creation in the Backyard's my favourite. Then Memory Almost Full.
Yeah, that one actually. Yeah.
And then probably Driving Rain actually. Out of those.
Nice. As Roger Waters takes away from his music.
Yeah, it does for me.
Yeah, didn't John Mellencamp just get like roasted by the crowd the other night or something where he stopped
always
playing his music and started ranting for 10 or 12 minutes and people got upset about it.
Yeah, like he's an idiot. I hope he's not watching. He'll punch me out.
I think he's a buffoon.
Yeah.
I saw that interview that he did with Piers Morgan, and I don't know if you guys know Piers Morgan. He did work in American TV for a while, but he's a British guy. And when there's two people in the studio, and you prefer Piers Morgan to the other bloke, it doesn't say much. I just think he's clearly
arrogant, right?
He's clearly anti-Semitic, and he needs to keep his mouth shut because he just came over in that that interview as a bumbling, senile buffoon. And while I'm not really into sort of cancel culture, I'm going to find it hard to listen to Pink Floyd. I've got a little window of Pink Floyd albums that I like. I don't like them all. But there's a few that I do, probably from, from Dark Side of the Moon to The Wall. I like.
So you mean Roger Waters? You were saying John Cougar.
No, I think the question included.
He was talking about the question from the.
Oh yeah, no, I was talking about Roger Waters.
Okay,
Sorry.
okay,
Yeah. I'm going to find it hard to listen.
But I did like when Piers said, "How much are you worth?" I agree with what he said. It's none of your business.
No, that wasn't any of his business, and it wasn't really the things. But when he was saying things like there was no evidence of what happened on the 7th of October, where there was clearly the Hamas terrorists were videoing rapes and abuse of teenage girls that were at this music concert, the Nova music concert, and Roger Waters is saying there's no evidence that even happened, when they're posting the footage online. So you know
what, I'm not going to listen to his new remix of The Dark Side of the Moon anymore.
If you listen to it once, that's one more time than I have. So
I did once.
I would not do that.
I heard a bit of it. It was terrible.
Yeah,
that's just another money grab. That's just terrible.
Revolver for me.
Revolver for me.
Revolver.
Revolution 9 sounds like Frank Zappa. Yeah, it's Knucklehead Rock. Hello.
Hello.
Prog rock dude. Yes, I hear Lemon Twigs talk. Yeah,
we were talking about the Twigs.
Joel, he's from Bethlehem. One of my fave bands is the Immediate Family. They have 5 studio musicians associated with James Taylor, Warren Zevon, and many Aslam Records artists. That's cool.
I don't know.
I think I saw them seriously doing a cover version of a Spark song. Yeah, weird.
Really?
Yeah.
Which one?
I don't know. It was I forgot, but it was good. Yeah, I think it's a great Beatles album, Bob.
Yeah. A lot of people say that, but I'm not sure how you define that, because there's a lot of tracks on there where there's backing vocals, and it kind of it sounds like that.
And the bonus material, they're all playing together, right?
Yeah, there were a few tracks on there where there was maybe 3 Beatles or 2, or 2 Beatles maybe, or even 1 Beatle on some of the tracks. But I still think I don't consider it to be a solo album by each Beatles, well, especially not Ringo.
Yeah, that stuff happens all the time, where members of the band, they're shuffling in and out. They've got lives, and they'll come in and lay down their guitar piece later on, and that happens all the time.
Yeah, and there was bits of it also, Brian, where say John Lennon might go into another studio to record his part on a song, while the others would work out on another song. So I think that happens quite a lot. There's a lot of British people, including me, that dislike Piers Morgan as well. But I'm saying, out of the two, Piers Morgan and Roger Waters on that particular day, Piers Morgan all the way. And but yeah, no, I really dislike him, because he's always got an agenda.
Yeah.
I mean, his treatment of Meghan Markle is shocking. It's shocking, some of the things that he said about her in the past.
There you go. Roger Waters is a jerk. That's what we were going to say, but we didn't want to.
Yeah. But you've said it for us.
Yeah, but back to the Beatles. I'm kind of thinking of doing a video of why did the Beatles break up? And
I thought you were going to say, why did the Beatles cross the road?
Yeah. But they broke up because all 4 of them, like Ringo was getting into movies. George wanted more of his songs. They split, and there were so many reasons, right? There wasn't one particular reason. John was the first one that wanted out of the Beatles, right? Like,
yeah, I think the only one that didn't really have a reason
Paul.
to leave the band was Paul.
Yeah, because he loves being in a band.
Yeah.
You know, and the thing is too is, it's a very short period of time that they're actually together, but they put out, you know, it was 13 albums. I'm like, that sometimes 13 albums is 25 years worth of material for some bands, you know, and because they spread it out. They were forced to be together, either touring or making albums in a very condensed amount of time all the time.
Yeah.
You know, it's awful hard to make it. You know, even me, my best friend, even when he's here and he's visiting, you know, I wouldn't want him to stay with me for a month. You know, I mean, I love the guy, but it's like, you know, you want to keep loving him. You don't want to be around him.
You want some space. You want some space.
Yeah, it's like, that's the problem, you know?
So Brian, you wouldn't want to be on a live chat with me all the time, right?
No. I don't want to hear that, Sparks. What are you talking about?
Hello, Record Hound from Niagara Falls. I've been there.
Oh, wow. That might be a fair statement.
What do you think, Tony?
Yeah.
Well, I think it definitely is a bridge album between the Mop Tops and what was going to happen next.
Yeah.
So I think that's what we mean. I think that's a good definition of what the bridge album means. So yeah, I would agree.
So if we're talking about bridge album, is there a particular song, Tony, that you think made that transition for them?
I think that you know, I don't think that there's too much gap between Help and Rubber Soul, but there seems to be a bigger gap between Rubber Soul and Revolver. It can't, but there are songs on Rubber Soul that probably wouldn't have been written in the Help era. I think, like In My Life, maybe Girl, something like I'm Looking Through You. You know, Rubber Soul is a Norwegian Wood. You know, really, it's such a strong album. Yeah, such a strong album.
What do you think is the most influential song from the '60s? You know, to change things. I'm thinking it's either, I don't know, Tomorrow Never Knows or Strawberry Fields Forever.
Yeah, probably Strawberry Fields.
Yeah, I'm kind of I think that was the big bang of change for music, maybe.
Yeah.
I
don't know if the Beatles were totally responsible for that, because what it kind of really means is kind of pop music growing up, doesn't it? From being from singles being paramount to albums being more important, I think.
Well, even the song Yesterday, right? That's kind of grown up. You know, it's not Mop Top, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think the Who were very influential in that kind of change. You know, for them it was a change maybe from pop to rock, but you know they seem to move. But the Stones, I never thought the Stones were that influential, because they just seem to follow what the Beatles did. I think all the way through. Not that I really like the Stones and I love what they did, but I didn't think they were that innovative. I don't think, as a band. In fact, I think they flourished more once the Beatles had split up, and they were kind of the premier rock band. I think they did some fantastic stuff in the 70s. The Stones.
For Nicholas, I will say Not Guilty.
So will I.
Yes.
My favorite Ringo album is Ringo.
Yeah,
that's the only one I've listened to.
Yeah, it's the best one.
Yeah.
That was Well, you can say that if you like. that's what they think. But it wasn't Israel that that kidnapped and raped and kidnapped babies on the 7th of October. And if that hadn't have happened, then there would be no no oppression in Gaza. Yes, I did. Yeah, it's brilliant. It's brilliant. I've watched it a couple of times.
Yeah. I couldn't believe it when there's some more, a couple of Beatle fans on YouTube, and they said it was boring. How can, if you're really a big Beatles fan, how can not 1 second of it was boring to me?
Yeah, we're all mad, don't we? We all find something. Everyone finds.
I mean, Ringo farting was one of the highlights of Get Back.
Yeah, the only disappointment was he didn't set fire to it. But I see it on my channel all the time. Beatles fans will find anything to moan about.
Yeah,
anything.
I'm a novice fan, and I thought it was really entertaining. And even me, I'm kind of sitting back for the first time. You could see it in almost live, the disdain building in the room, and how the temperature would change in the room based on who was in it. It was just you could feel that in the documentary. You could just feel it. And I'm not an expert by any means,
No, I've never heard of Michael Breen.
No,
I don't think so.
It's Music Talk with John.
Music Talk
with John. I've never been to Canada, but it's on our list. We've got some friends in Vancouver and in Vancouver Island. So
if you ever come to Canada again, Tony, I'm not going to be home that week.
Yeah, no, I know that. But yeah, I've been to the US. I've been to New York twice, and I've been to California, and we did a trip. So in that trip, we were in California, and we went to Nevada, and trying to think of it, Colorado, and I've been to Florida twice, but to Disneyland with the kids.
Yeah. Why was Strawberry Fields so influential in your opinion? It was just, I remember hearing it for the first time, and it was just pretty. I liked it right away, but it was so weird, it's so different.
Because it's just so strange. I mean, my introduction to the Beatles was the Blue album, and that was the first Beatles album that I heard, and the first track on it is Strawberry Fields Forever. And when I played it, I couldn't believe what I was hearing. It was just so different to anything else that I'd ever heard, and I just kept playing that one track over and over and over again before I let it go on to Penny Lane and Sgt. Pepper and all that. On the Blue album, so it was just a bit mind blowing. Really, it just didn't sound like anything I'd heard before.
Brian, you can read this comment.
ADHD samurai sword attack in St. Demas, California, in 4K HD. Absolutely ghastly at that high definition. Not even sure what that is.
I got to see that. Yeah, I love the Doors. Yeah, good.
Yeah, LA Woman, my favorite album. By the way.
Yeah. Which Who album? Oh, Who Sell Out for sure. Magic Bus was just a compilation album. Sentimental Journey's nice. It's not a bad album.
I prefer it to Kisses on the Bottom, I think.
Yeah. And are you looking forward to Ringo's country album?
Not really.
No, you don't like.
I do, but I'm just a bit tired of Ringo's solo stuff now. I'm glad that he's got the energy to make music and stuff. Yeah. I didn't really like the Crooked Boy EP, although I did like the opening track on it.
Yeah.
But I didn't really like the rest of it much.
I've seen his EPs here at the record stores. Like I think the newest one, it was like $24.99.
Yeah, it was that price. It was that price. we've got in the UK. There's a female singer-songwriter that I follow called Narina Palo, and about in 2015 or something, she put out an EP every month, 4 or 5 tracks on each of them, and they were they were £5 each, which is like the right price. It was all CD EPs. It was the right price.
AMT. Oh, that's music.
Music Talk with John. Music Talk with John.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's going on?
It's Martin McGrath.
Yeah,
But is that the real Martin McGrath?
That's
or is that
Marvin Gaye.
pretending to be Martin McGrath?
The smile. I like the smile. But I'm a fan of Tom York and Radiohead, obviously, and Johnny Greenwood. So the Smile is a great band.
Strawberry Fields Forever is so influential because that was when the Beatles were starting to get crazy, man. Yeah. Did all of your dreams come true at Disney?
Well, the kids loved it. It was hard work, to be honest, going around all those parks every day.
Let's be nice about Ringo. It's Mean Mr. Mayo. I love solo Ringo. I think his best solo album will always be the 1973 debut. Yeah. If you want to come on, Mean Mr. Mayo, let me know. The Who are my favorite British classic rock band. Yeah, very good.
Yep.
They're great. Love the Who. What would be?
It depends what album you listen to. I think a good one to start with is One Size Fits All. That was my first.
Hot Rats, I would start with,
or Hot Rats. Joe's Garage. Yes, I love the Who live at Leeds.
Yeah, it's a great live album.
I'm just waiting for more comments. I prefer Penny Lane to Strawberry Fields. Bob.
Wow.
Yeah. Well,
sometimes open mouth insert foot.
It was the wrong thing to say, right?
Right. I heard it was the insurance got dropped on the tour.
Yeah.
Without insurance, there is no tour because you can't get venues to have you if you don't have insurance.
But who hasn't made a mistake saying something and then, I shouldn't have said that, right?
Right.
Larry, did you know about my foot fetish? Well, I've
That's
seen the
not
pictures.
Joe. It's not Joe.
No,
it's Martin McGrath. That's his MO.
Yeah. Okay.
That's funny.
Damn. I hope I'm not banning the real Joe. Okay. No. Yeah. That guy's he's banned. These people need to get a life, right, Tony?
Yeah, he's 38 years old.
Yeah.
Wow, it's sad.
He's one of that, invisible bloke.
Yeah.
One of his cronies.
Tenacious D situation is messy. Yep, the 5-man electrical band, not electric band.
Good band from Canada is the Tragically Hip. That's my favorite band.
Yeah. I say let people be idiots. Yes.
I say that social media has done us a great service and that we can figure out people's IQ without waiting weeks now.
So you can figure out my IQ, Brian?
Yeah, you give me 10 minutes, sure. 115, 120.
Yeah. I don't know if that's good or bad.
It's good actually. 100's average, right? I think if it's still the same. Yeah. I don't know.
And Tony, did you hear the big American news?
I did. I did. Good news, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It might be a contest now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, April Wine was very good.
Yeah, they were big in the early 70s for sure.
The Staccatos. Music Talk with John. Do any of you listen to country? Yeah, I like some old country, like Johnny Cash, Buck Owens, Roger Miller, Merle Haggard. Not that I have it in my collection, but my dad's old country albums. I used to enjoy some of them, but I detest new country. Right, Tony?
No, I really like. I like alternative country. I like Ryan Adams.
Yeah.
And I like Robbie Fulks.
Yeah.
Got a few
I like Jason Isbell, Sturgill Simpson. I don't mind.
It's really weird because I don't go out my way to listen to country, but if any of the bands that I like do a country song, I usually really like it.
New country is such homogenized, boring pop. Yeah.
Listening to the wrong new country.
Never heard of Amos Lee.
I've heard of them, yeah.
What's your favorite movie soundtrack? People ask me that. I don't know.
Does it have to be a soundtrack? Or are you talking about like just ones that were just a collection of songs? I mean, there's a difference, I think.
I'll say the Ruddles.
That's a cool shout. Yeah. my favorite all-time movie is Midnight Express, and the soundtrack for that won an Oscar, I think.
Yeah. Yep. Oh yeah. My cat's doing much better. There she is, right there. If you can see her, Mittens. She was pretty sick about a week ago.
Oh.
Have you listened to Sturgill Simpson, Larry? Chris Stapleton also.
Yeah, he has an album, Meta Modern Sounds of Country Music, that's really good. It's like psychedelic country.
Just not for me. Urban Cowboy. Yeah, Marty Robbins. When I was little, my mom used to put on country music to put me to sleep. It worked.
There you
go.
Oops, sorry. New country is great these days.
Is new country the same as alternative country or alt country as we call it here? I don't know if it's the same thing. It sounds.
I think it's different. I consider alternative country more like Americana heartland type stuff.
Yeah. Stop it.
Sparks last year in Toronto. Brian.
I saw Collective Soul and Hootie and the Blowfish just a couple weeks ago.
Tony.
Last great concert. Ooh. It's been a while.
You have to go back 20 years.
No, I don't actually, because the only person that I've seen recently live is Narina Pala, who I was talking about earlier. It was the first gig that I went to after the ban was lifted after COVID, and we saw her in a really small venue, and it was great. It's just great. It was a great gig, but it was great being able to go to gigs again.
Yeah, time for a Sparks country album. Chris Stapleton's music freaking sucks.
Freaking.
Yeah. But that's just your opinion, right? Like there's people that think the Beatles suck. It's just their opinion. It doesn't really matter. Just enjoy what you like and let other people enjoy what they like. I like Yoko Ono's music. You don't have to.
Countries like
What's that?
I was just reading that comment from Ernest.
Those people are dumb.
Okay.
Well, that's it for me, guys. I gotta take off because
thanks for dropping by. I'm going to be done soon.
No problem. Hey, Tony, it's really nice meeting you.
Yeah, and you, Brian.
And
tell us about your channel, Brian. Hurry.
We're in the middle of doing a couple series. Tomorrow we'll release part 4 of our 100 favorite movies of all time on the channel, and then later this week I'll be releasing the top 10 albums from 1995. So 2 things coming out this week, and we keep plugging away. So
okay, and I'll have a link for your channel after this is done. So thank you.
I appreciate it. You guys take care of yourselves. All right.
Yeah. Cheers, Brian.
All right. Last concert I went to was Jeff Healey in the late 90s. Yeah. I love Oasis. I like them. Do you like Oasis, Tony?
I do like Oasis.
Yeah.
I don't think that's Danny either.
No. Oh boy.
It's not his avatar. So, yeah, he does like Oasis, and that's why it's there.
Yep. I haven't heard My Favorite Headache. Later, Brian. And reviews made me cry with his Chris Stapleton comment. Thanks for dropping by, Bob. Bye.
My Bob.
Oasis are ripoffs. Boring music. Yeah, but that's just your opinion. All right. Time to get rid of him.
Wanker.
Idiots everywhere. Do you have to deal with trolls too or not?
I get. I must admit, I haven't had any on my live streams, but I've only done a few live streams. I get some comments sometimes that are just stupid, but 90%, 99% of the people on my channel are good people.
Yeah. I've heard of them.
I don't know them.
No, you're not into prog rock.
I'm not a fan of prog, but I do know most of the.
He hates the band. Yes.
I don't hate them. It's not my thing. It's just not my thing. But if a track's not lasting 20 minutes, it's not pulling its weight.
Did your channel issue come out of the blue? Yeah. And I can reapply in 3 months, which is sometime in September. But I have to send them, for them to approve me, I have to send them a video of how I edit and do my videos. And I'm not going to bother. It's like I've been doing videos for 18 years. I'm not going to show you how I create original content. Like, it's ridiculous. The word wanker is always best when said with an English accent.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Oh, he's a wanker.
Yeah. Because I always felt that MASSEY introduced wanker to YouTube.
Yeah.
And I kind of want to take him to one side and give him wanker lessons.
Yeah. So what do you think? Yeah. Okay. What do you think is coming up next? Beatles related, and also Paul McCartney. Are we going to get London Town and Back to the Egg?
I don't know. I think that the next thing we'll get from Paul is probably a new album.
Yeah,
because it seems like he's working on, or he has been working on it. I mean, it's been seen at MPL a couple of times this month, and so I think a new album from McCartney is probably more likely than London Town and Back to the Egg. But you never know with these things. But it's just been so long since the last archive collection that you kind of it's looking like it's dead, isn't it? Which I hope it's not.
You think it might be done with?
I don't know. I don't know. It's just the longer it goes on, the more likely it seems. But they can always throw a curve ball. As far as the Beatles go, I've heard that Rubber Soul is off the table for this year.
Oh, really? Okay.
And I think that they might be doing some sort of 1964 box, which may be something to do with the Beatles arriving in the US, or could be Hard Day's Night and Beatles or Beatles for Sale, which both came out in '64, so it could be something like that. Mm-hmm. I've heard that there's a remix of Living in the Material World on the way. So it could be that. It's so unpredictable because they just throw curved balls all the time. Do you want to go first?
No, that's why I'm not saying anything.
Oh, okay. Well, I really liked Egypt Station when it first came out, but I became bored with it very quickly, and I think I don't think it's one of his best albums, to be honest. I prefer McCartney 3, and I prefer New. I think it's probably my least favourite McCartney album of this century, apart from Kisses on the Bottom. I prefer it to that.
When he uses these different hip producers, he doesn't really need to do that, right? Because he's a fine producer himself.
Yeah.
What is your favorite Electric Light Orchestra song? Mine is from their second album, Kuami. I don't know how you pronounce it, but it's like an 11-minute epic song.
Mine is, I can't remember what it's called now. The first song on A New World record. What's it called? Not Mission. Sorry, I'm having a senior moment. I can't think of it, but I think it's the opening.
Do ya? Is that it?
No, it's not Do Ya.
Living Thing.
No. Sorry, I'm going to have to look it up now. Hang on.
Can't get it out of my head.
No.
Cool.
Tightrope.
Oh yeah, Tightrope.
Tightrope.
Yeah.
Tightrope.
He's I guess he's doing a final concert tour, and he's playing in Toronto soon, I think, in September or something. ELO.
Okay.
Yeah.
But it's just him though, isn't it? It's not.
There's
no other members.
He's calling it ELO, but I think it's just him with other band members. Tightrope. Yeah.
Got there in the end, Ralph.
I would consider Jeff Lynne a musical genius, right?
Yeah.
It's pretty damn good. I mean, he worked with George. He worked with Paul. John really liked him. Did he work? I guess he'd never worked with Ringo though.
He did, because he with for Fred.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, the anthology.
And Real Love, on the anthology.
Yep. Well, that was a fun chat. I think it's time for me to. So it's 7, 8, 9. It's 12:10 in the morning, Tony. You got to go to sleep.
It is. But it was fun. It was worth it. Yeah.
Thanks for dropping by. Thanks everybody, and please check out. Tell us about your channel. And I'll have a link below after this.
Well, it's mainly a Beatles centric channel. It's called Beatley Tones Beatles channel, which I find quite easy to say, but Larry has a little bit of a problem with it. But yeah, Beatley Tones Beatles channel. I mostly do Beatles stuff, but I do some stuff on other artists that I know occasionally. But it's all the usual thing. It's news. Try and do breaking news when those things happen. Unboxings, reviews, reviews of stuff that's just come out, and deep dives, reviews on things that have happened in the past. I also do stories about being a Beatles fan. I've been a Beatles fan for 46 years, so various things that have happened. No, that's that sort of thing,
Yeah. Have you ever thought of starting a second channel that's for other that's not Beatles related?
Mrs. Beatley Tone said I should do that.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe. Yeah.
Okay. So thanks everybody, and thanks Tony. Check out Tony's channel. Okay. Bye.
Thanks, Larry. Cheers.
Yep, you're welcome.
Bye.